everybody, Steve from GuitarNiche here. I've got a special episode for you today. I just ordered in a full-size acoustic from one of our suppliers. This is under the Beaver Creek brand. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it. We're going to have a look at what's going on inside in terms of do the inspection and all this. This is something that every sale should have. That is, if you're buying an instrument, it should be inspected from, not necessarily by you, but this is the benefit of, let's say, having, buying from a shop, where you can have your instrument looked at typically professionally, because they should have a service person on board that does this regularly, so that they can go over the instrument, make sure that it's problem-free for you, and head to toe, because there's nothing worse than kind of opening up a box or getting that brand new instrument, and it comes out of the box and it might be broken, it might be wildly out of whack. Of course, different manufacturers will have various levels of quality as they ship. That is, the instruments will be in, let's say, some are better than others, where they're actually really, really good out of the box. But it's very, very rare that you will get an instrument in tune and perfectly set up out of the box. There's usually some sort of intermediary there which will go through the process of making sure that it's dialed in for you, the end user. Anyway, this is a pretty good entry-level instrument, and we're going to take it out of the box, inspect it, have a look-see and all that good stuff. This should be pretty interesting, and we'll share some insights as to what you should be looking for, etc., etc., to help you, have an easier time of getting into the market, so to speak, and to perhaps save a couple bucks in the process. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to get resituated, and we'll be right back. So, first thing, we have a little look at the box itself to make sure that there's no obvious damage and whatnot. And of course, this one looks pretty good. Get that top off. Away. Take the instrument out. This happens to come with a bag, which is awesome. Another thing is, you got to be careful about some purveyors, let's say. They're not all created equal. Sometimes you get package deals that are special from the manufacturer to the person. Oopsie, that was the truss rod adjuster. Anyway, the specials that go from the manufacturer to the seller, and what they'll do is they'll bust apart the package. That is, if it comes with a bag or it comes with any other goodies and stuff like that, they'll break it apart and sell it back to you individually as upsells. You're entitled to get that stuff all bundled together. That's what it's for. It's a special, right? There's no law that says that the seller has to include it, but it's, in my book, I think it's good business to, hey, if I got a deal, pass the deal along. It's not all about the money. It's about treating you guys with respect and being treated fairly. That's good business. Anyway, on with the show. So there was an elastic around the top of that. Sorry about the adjuster fell on the floor. I'll get that. And bag looks like it's in good shape. All that stuff. Beautiful red. Nice red burst here. Okay. So this is where the rubber meets the road. It's out of the box. This particular company that is my supplier for these things, they're actually really good. They have somebody on staff who looks at the instruments beforehand and makes some preliminary adjustments, which is very, very cool, because some stuff that comes off the boat, it goes straight to you through a middleman or a number of middlemen, will never see the light of day from the point it's packed at the factory somewhere in Neverland to the moment you open it up. And you can have a whole host of things going on there. Okay? So with some, say, mid-level systems, there's actually a benefit to buying through certain channels. Say somebody who does service specifically, or perhaps a storefront where you can go in physically. You can physically see the gear and stuff like that, and feel it, touch it, make sure that it's what you want and all that kind of stuff. But you want to save a buck, you want to order online, whatever floats your boat. It's all well and good. This particular segment is about taking something out that's green, never seen our light of day, let's say. So I'm actually playing a part of you guys, where I'm seeing this for the very first time, but I know how to get at this thing and spiff it up so that I know it's going to be trouble free, especially for the person that's going to buy it ultimately. Okay, so that's where we're at. So I'm going to have a quick look at this. No obvious signs of any damage from shipping or anything like that. Okay, my my first impression is not bad, not bad. And this is actually, that's actually pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's pretty cool. So see, this is the thing that's really neat with this particular supplier, and I can tell you as a point of fact, suppliers, that is people you get stuff from, and I'm included as a retailer, or a reseller if you would. They're not all created equal. There are very different levels of resellers, let's say, because they're all built on businesses that ultimately have a personality attached. And some people are only out for one thing. You got to be wary of that. And then there's other businesses or other levels or systems in place, let's say resellers and systems, they're the food chain in the business, where they really care about what they do. Now, unfortunately, it's very difficult to find out who is who until you kind of go through those machinations to get the product in and make your assessments, and especially if you have a problem, how well are you taken care of? That goes a long way. In my many years of business, I gravitated towards those suppliers that treated me with respect and took care of my problems. There's no difference in how that mentality works as the customer as well. But you should be find a connection. It's going to take whatever it takes to do that. But if you're comfortable with the business that you're buying from or the reseller that you're buying from, make sure you ask the right questions and stuff like that. There's some logical things there that you could go through, etc. Anyway, I'm babbling on. We'll get to the meat of what we're going to do. So we have some high action, higher than I would like, which is forgivable because some of these instruments will wind up in the hands of people that want to, they're heavy-handed, let's say, or maybe they play slide and whatnot. So things have to be averaged out, and that's the nature of the game. I found that by finessing the instrument that much tighter, your general person, that is the average player, is going to be that much more happy. They don't have to have it, a secondary dial-in, if you would. They tend to be pretty happy. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little truss rod yank. I'm not going to go fishing for the. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we found it. So stuff falls down once in a while. Okay, hopefully not on the instrument. Anyway, this is. That's a 5mm adjuster. Okay. Oh, nice crack. Hope you heard that. I can see actually a little mark on the string here from where it was adjusted by whoever did it after it landed. Okay, which is it's usually they're doing many of them, and it becomes a very tedious job if you're say on a Friday afternoon or a Monday morning. It's just one of those things. I try to, I'm spreading the strings here to give myself some clearance here. Okay, so I did make an eyeball assessment of the neck. You can find that kind of information, that is how to read a neck properly, in another video, or I might actually turn that into a series at this point in history. I'm not quite sure about that, but there's a ton of information that will benefit you if you know how to use it properly. Anyway. It's looking better. I like to see the neck pretty straight. Okay, we are at tension, that is, we're at pitch. I haven't put it on a tuner or anything like that, but I just know I can feel the tension in the strings. It's going to be off a few cents, but That's all good, okay? So that's the truss rod has been adjusted. It should sit pretty. The nut definitely needs to be cut. Those strings are a bit too high. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to cut the nut. I'm going to trim it out a little bit, just cut those slots down a little bit. And that's part of the process of straightening out the neck. You will get a better read at the nut. I'll wind up taking the saddle out, pull the pins, take the saddle out. I'm going to shave a little bit off the bottom, and I'm also going to go around the headstock and do some housekeeping up there. But as far as like the rest of the instrument, there's a new film, you know, from the original application on the pick guard. It's like Christmas when you get the new instrument, you get to peel that off. And you know, at the end of the day, when the job is all done, we'll clean up the fingerprints and it should be good to go. Okay, anyway, I'm going to just take a break for a second and I'll be right back. Thanks.